This is the Making Waves podcast. My name is Dave Rhoden, and we're here with Bethany Soye, District 9 legislator in the House of Representatives, and I believe you're a majority whip also, aren't you, Bethany?
Yes, I am this year.
Well, thank you for being with us this morning. You are at legislative session. I can hear some people in the background. You're taking a little break here after a morning conference meeting, I'm assuming?
Yep, just trying to find a place to hide.
Understood. Well, it's been an exciting session so far, and you have 3 bills that you have in the hopper here, and wasn't the last day to put in bills yesterday or today?
Yes, it was yesterday at noon, so kind of a big mad rush at the beginning of this week, but now it's over. We have the bills that we're going to deal with and move forward.
Yes, this happens, of course, every year, and now things are kind of gelling. You kind of know what you're dealing with. Talk a little bit about your bills. What's your first one that you want to talk about?
So actually I have 2 bills that I ran right away at the beginning of the session, so they're done on the House side, and they're just waiting on the Senate. So the first one was 1053, which essentially is a redo of the bill from last year to do age verification for pornography sites.
Ah, very good one. Now, where's that at? Is that passed through the House then?
Yes, it's been through the House committee, the House floor, and it is waiting for a hearing in Senate Judiciary. So I would encourage people to reach out to members of that committee and ask for a hearing soon.
That's a good idea. Just so everybody understands, it goes through a conference committee in the House, then it goes to the floor of the House, and then once it's passed from the floor of the House, it goes to the Senate committee, and then from the Senate committee to the floor of the Senate. So right now it's sitting in the Senate Conference Committee. Which committee is that again? In
Senate Judiciary.
Senate Judiciary, okay. And we can encourage all of our listeners here to connect or contact their constituents to the Senate Judiciary Committee so they get that passed. Could you tell us a little bit about the bill itself?
Yeah, so it's very similar to the bill from last year that ultimately died in the Senate at the very end of session, except the only change would be enforcement is just with the Attorney General's office, and there's no private cause of action.
Okay. Do you think that's going to make it easier for it to pass?
Yeah, so that was the compromise that I offered last year, and unfortunately they didn't take me up on it. But I'm keeping my word and bringing it back, and it sailed through the House pretty easily, and I would hope to see the same in the Senate.
And this is a bill that's been passed in other states, something similar in other states.
Yep. I think we're up to about 19. There's a lot of national momentum, and the idea is, it's not going to stop everything, but the more states who pass it, the more effective it will be, so that ultimately, in the end, we'll have a nationwide law.
And this seems like a no-brainer. It's quite straightforwardly, it requires porn sites to verify the age of the people who go to their site.
The arguments against it are, free speech, we shouldn't have to give up our information, but I can't buy that argument when there are so many other things that we do age verification on, whether it's cigarettes or alcohol or cough syrup. But for some reason, pornography, which is already defined as material harmful to minors under our state statute, for some reason that's the one exception.
It sounds like a great bill. What else you bring?
So another one that's already been through the House side is 1044, and that is the Baby Gabriel bill, which is named after the deceased infant that was found in Sioux Falls. And it's to allow baby boxes to be used for surrendering a child anonymously. We already have safe haven laws where there's certain places like a fire station, a hospital, emergency services where you can go face-to-face and surrender a newborn, and it's no questions asked. This would just provide one option where you don't have to physically hand it to a person. So if you're in just such a desperate situation, there's abuse or something's going on like that, and you can't go to a person face-to-face. We want there to be an option, a safe place to put the child as a last resort.
Historically, they've had these little baby boxes at monasteries and convents, and this would be something similar then.
Yeah, it's not a new idea. I mean, I remember seeing a documentary about a pastor in China that had one to collect children, the modern baby boxes, they're in several other different states, and they're working very well, and there's certain regulations where it has to be someplace that's manned 24/7, has emergency services, there have to be alarms. But ultimately, then it's up to the places to decide to put them in. So there's no mandate that says, like, every fire department has to put them in. It's just an option. Kind of the vision with this bill, and it's something that statewide Right to Life is going to take up, is that to have the local Right to Life groups or other service organizations be the ones who fundraise and promote these in their own community. It's essentially the government allowing private organizations to take action. So I think it's a great conservative bill, too.
That makes a lot of sense to me. And I like the idea that the private fundraising make this happen, because that's the way it should be.
Yep, that's been through the House side, and then that is just waiting for a hearing on the Senate side as well.
Okay. What committee is that in the Senate? You happen to know?
That'll be in Health and Human Services.
Okay. And I'll put contact information for these committees on our post when we do this, so people can contact each committee. So you have a third bill now. What's that?
Yeah, I have one more brand new one that I just dropped. I believe the number is 1239. So it hasn't been assigned to a committee yet or anything. But for those listeners that are in Sioux Falls, you might remember a few weeks back, or I don't know, maybe it's been a few months, Mayor Ten Haken made some comments about the legislature staying out of culture war issues, and specifically the dirty books in libraries. And I took great offense to that and wrote a response. And then we also had members of the community who showed up at the city council meeting and read excerpts from these books that are available to children. And it was very clearly pornographic. And when they posted that video online, they even had to put a warning that said, this content is not suitable for minors, which that's so ironic, but it's okay to hand it out to the kids in the library. So I have a bill that's meant to deal with that. That's what 1239 is.
What does it do?
It's pretty simple and straightforward. So we already have definitions on the law for what's obscenity, what's material harmful to minors. And those have been on there for decades. You know, if people have problems with those, it's not a problem with my bill. So it's already pretty clearly laid out. Those definitions include exceptions that say if it has literary value, if it has artistic or scientific value, those things are already covered, which you would think would cover the school and library problem, right? Because if you're studying anatomy or you're studying the Statue of David, like clearly those don't count as pornography. What people don't know is that there's also a list of affirmative defenses in the statute, and one of them essentially says if you are a school or a library, you have a full defense to distributing material harmful to minors, which I think is pretty crazy. So you don't even have to show that it had literary or scientific value. You just have to say, we're a school, the law doesn't apply to us. So what I would like to see is that defense removed. Yeah, I'd like to see that defense removed so they have to actually show, like, this has scientific or literary value like everyone else would have to.
Final thoughts. What's going on in the legislature? Do you have anything to add?
We're getting into the tough game time. You know, all the bills are in, and now we have to get all the House stuff passed before a crossover day. So it's going to be coming at us fast and furious. So I just ask for a little bit of grace if you reach out to your legislators and don't hear back right away. We're not ignoring you.
Yeah, you guys are super busy, and I really appreciate you spending your time and talking with us, because I know you're so busy.
Yeah, and I appreciate you giving us a chance to speak.
Thank you, Bethany. Bethany Soye, District 9 House, and also a Majority Whip. Thank you very much for being with us on Making Waves podcast.